We're here to demonstrate the use of the refractometer and the applications to which it can be put on the modern vehicle. The refractometer is basically used to measure the freezing point at which the fluid in the water system of the vehicle, that's the engine heating water, or the washer bottle fluid, or in fact the electrolyte in the battery would freeze. The same test would be carried out for all three fluids. There's a few things to mention before we go into the actual use of it. The refractometer comes with the actual instrument itself, which is quite a delicate instrument and needs to be treated as such, and also with a very small pipette which you use for taking the minutest amount of fluid out of whichever reservoir it is that you're testing. Before you use it each time, you should make sure that the screen is clean. This can be done by wiping it with a clean soft piece of cloth, and also actually the flap on the top needs to be clean as well, so that there's no contamination from previous use. The same with the pipette. It needs to be clean before you use it on each test. And this can be done by cleaning it out with ordinary water, preferably distilled water. You can in fact test the instrument itself with a slight amount of distilled water on the lens, and this would be explained to you in the instructions manual with which you receive with the instrument. Before you actually use the refractometer, it's worth setting it up to your own eyesight. Different people in the garage have used it, then the adjustment and the focus may be different. You do this simply by holding it towards the light, looking through the eyepiece, and then turning it to match your own eyesight. It's a very simple operation. As you look through there, you will see the dial with the graph on it as displayed earlier, and you just twist it as you would a monocular or a telescope type lens, just to get it as clear as you want it for your own eyesight. Having done that, you don't need to do that again unless somebody else is going to use it. Having cleaned the instrument, making sure they're contamination free, once you've put the minutest amount of fluid on there, you need to shut that flap down, which spreads it automatically, and it's then good not to tip the instrument either way. You don't want a lot of fluid on there, you certainly don't want it running out of the sides, and if you tip it up, then potentially fluid could run back towards the eye, and if you keep it level, with the angle of the lens, it will run off the other way and away from your eyesight. I'm going to check the antifreeze on this vehicle. First of all, remove the cap. This vehicle is cold. Obviously take great care if the vehicle is hot or warm. Take the cap. If we lift the flap up, and with the pipette, the minutest amount of fluid out of there, actually even too much in there, you need the minutest amount, and just put one tiny drop in the centre of the lens. You perhaps can't see that on the screen, but it is actually the minutest amount. When you then shut down the flap, it spreads that, and that will be enough to take a reading. You then again, having already adjusted that to your eyesight, keeping it horizontal, up to the light, look through, and you will get the reading on the central scale, because we're doing this for the antifreeze of the vehicle, and it will tell you, reading off, at what temperature the antifreeze in this vehicle would freeze at.